Most of you have heard of Farmers for No. My name is James Reynolds and I'm chairman of Farmers for No. My background is I'm a former chairman of Longford IFA County Executive. I'm currently secretary of my own local branch in Bannalee in Longford. If you ever heard of General Sean McKeown, Bannalee is famous for that, among other things. And the Farmers for No was started up just over 2 weeks ago by a group of past and present IFA officers and some from the Irish Cattle and Sheep Farmers Association as well, that were concerned about the absence of a debate on the devastating implications for the Lisbon Treaty will have for agriculture, and the fact that it is not even being debated, and the fact that the IFA leadership had ploughed ahead and had decided to hold an executive meeting and rush a decision and deny a debate to their own members. So as a response to that, we decided to set up Farmers for No, but we got fantastic coverage. So much so that the Minister for Agriculture, Minister for Foreign Affairs and the European Commission has responded to some of our claims in which we outline our reasons for voting no. Principally, they can be summarised into four main reasons. The first, as Jens Peter has dealt with already, the transfer of powers from the smaller member states to the larger ones. No need for me to go over an area that Jens has already covered. The second is that the Lisbon Treaty is effectively a proxy referendum on Turkish accession. Turkey is a country of 75 million people. Under the Nice Treaty, the Nice Treaty provides for an EU of no more than 27 member states. The accession of Turkey will double the number of farmers in the EU. And given that the CAP budget going forward, it's approximately €46 billion, it's likely to be frozen. We'll be very lucky if it's retained at the current level. It's likely that it'll be pared back. So you can imagine that you double the number of farmers and you retain even the existing budget. You're going to have the supports for farmers throughout Europe, and you're going to collapse the CAP. These farmers are entitled to a hand up by means of CAP support, and they're going to be denied that because of Turkish aid. Third reason is in relation to the removal of our WTO veto. The IFA held a demonstration in April of 2008 to oppose the selling out of Irish and European agriculture by the then EU Trade Commissioner Peter Mandelson, who incidentally would not be in a position to negotiate in the World Trade talks were not for the fact that mandate, that power to negotiate was conferred on him unanimously by all the ministers of the European Council, including, quite disgracefully, our own minister, which was in total variance with our national interest. If the Mandelson's proposals had been accepted and the World Trade deal, that bad deal, had been implemented, it would devastate rural Ireland. It would close down agriculture. That would be, and you have to imagine an economy that's in recession or near depression at the moment. If you factor in a collapse of agriculture and the food industry and all the ancillary service industries that are dependent on agriculture, I think that it would be the death knell of the entire Irish economy. And as I said, in relation to the veto, currently we have a veto that will, in other words, the decisions in relation to the conclusion of international trade agreements are made by means of unanimity. It means that all the governments of the member states, the Irish minister can, even though initially the Irish minister had conferred the mandate on Mandelson to sell us out in the negotiations. That was the negotiations. When it comes back to ratifying, rubber stamping the deal, and Steve will correct me if I'm wrong on this, it requires the ratification of every member state's government. So the Irish government can say, no, this will ruin our Irish farming, Irish agricultural interests, vital national interests, we can veto it. But under Article 188, Section C and N of the commercial policy of the Lisbon Treaty, that veto was removed. The fact remains, the Doha round remains in place. There is a danger that Baroness Catherine Ashton, who succeeded Peter Mandelson as Trade Commissioner, she is intent on carrying on his mantle and his mandate was to set out agriculture, that if Lisbon is ratified, we will be unable to stop it. The only way that it can be stopped is by means of qualified majority vote. It's a decision of the larger member states in the EU. And in my view, I think the larger member states regard agriculture as less important to them as it is to Ireland. And in that situation, I would envisage that they would be prepared quite willingly to sacrifice agriculture on the altar of free trade in return for concessions in relation to selling industrial goods and services into places like Latin America. So that's the third reason. The fourth reason is in relation to the harmonisation of inheritance and succession laws throughout the European Union, which would mean it would be impossible for family farms to be passed on as single viable working units to one child. Currently, we have a situation whereby as you referred to in relation earlier to the Irish Constitution, Article 43 in relation to private ownership of property is quite clearly defined. And if a farmer decides to will or bequeath his family farm to a son or daughter, and he has other sons and daughters who have jobs or they emigrate or whatever, they're not interested in the farm. Post Lisbon, it is possible because the Charter of Fundamental Rights is part of the Lisbon Treaty, and because the judicial legal system on the continent is quite different to the common law system that we have in Britain and Ireland. They have a Code Napoleonic type system whereby every sibling in that situation would be entitled to an equal share of the estate, and they could challenge and overturn that will because, as was said earlier by Alan Speaker, European law takes primacy over Irish law in that situation. And just the piece in the Irish Times, and just in summary, here, had it there a minute ago, where it referred to the plans of the Commission to harmonise inheritance laws, and basically those plans were shelved. The European Union Commission had produced a green paper on I think last March, and they decided last May, because of the referendum on the Lisbon Treaty this October in Ireland, to shelve plans for its publication in case it might jeopardise the chances of winning the farmers' votes for a yes vote, you know.